Hello, welcome to this first podcast in a series of JACIE Quality in Practice. This particular podcast is going to cover quality at the core, the essential role of quality managers in JACIE certification. And what we hope you'll get at the end of it is have a bit better idea of what the quality managers will be doing. We're going to be giving the perspective from both a centre and an inspector's perspective, but as we are all both quality managers and inspectors, we may cross over a little bit. I'd like to introduce my fellow podcasters today. I have Evi Sprangers, who is the quality manager at Ghent in Belgium, and Rachel Luke, who is the quality standards facilitator at Newcastle in the UK. Welcome, both of you.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for having us.
So we'll go into this straight off. And I'd like to ask you some questions. So what do you both think is the key role for a quality manager prior to the inspection? Evi?
Oh, that's a good question to start with. Thank you, Anne. I think the quality manager must orchestrate the whole process. We are the glue in the system, and we have to make sure that everyone is doing what they are doing in their daily practice. I think there are three things I will ensure for myself. It's structure, being calm, because it's so stressful when you are going to an inspection, and credibility. I will go deeper onto that. Structure. When you are going for your submission of your application to be inspected by JACIE, you should do a self-assessment or a gap analysis to see your strong points, but also your weak points. And then you know where you have to work, what's different and what's difficult for your own center. The second one, calmness. I know myself. I'm so nervous when they come and inspect us. So new people, new nurses, new doctors, they are also very stressed and nervous. So you must reassure them. You must prepare them what they can expect during an interview. In fact, it's just doing and telling what you do in your daily practice, but as we all know, everyone is very stressed out at that period when they know they are coming. So you just need to tell them what you think that the inspector will ask and what they should answer to that question. And credibility, you can have the best document management system, but when the inspector is looking at your daily practice and sees that it's not the same, they lose their trust in your center. So don't overact in your paperwork, but make sure it compares to the practice. And that's, I think, the most important task for the quality management. Good preparation, make sure everyone feels safe to go to an inspection. And when the inspectors come, you'll be ready.
Thank you. Rachel?
Yeah, it's safe to say that we are very much peer-led. So to reassure anyone who hasn't been inspected before, we are coming to your centre to inspect you. We are not trying to catch anyone out. We don't want staff to feel stressed or nervous. So anything that the quality manager can do to reassure staff that we are very much them, just working in a different centre, is useful. You could have some drop-in sessions just to educate staff on what is JACIE, what to expect during inspection, and what they need to know. And you could also do a newsletter, which could be like a countdown to the inspection, which is quite useful, just to keep that momentum going. But the key message definitely is that we are just like you guys. And also to get some buy-in from the leads and the program directors to support the quality manager in getting the word out that the inspection's going to happen. Inform senior managers, because it is quite important, the inspection, and we need buy-in from everyone from top down. And just to get people on board and engaging in the whole process, because it's not as scary as people think.
When you prepare for an inspection, that you just have to tell the people, the nurses, the doctors, to do what they every day do, not doing something different. Just do your daily practice. I think that's the most important sentence or answer to your question.
Yeah, thank you. So moving on, what is the key role of a quality manager actually during the inspection? Rachel?
Yeah, definitely the go-to person between the centre and inspectors. It's that the quality manager is the navigator throughout. Definitely making sure that the timetable runs the time. As inspectors, we don't have a great amount of time to get through everything. We need to do a tour, liaise with the leads when we go round, interviews and document review. And if you are inspecting a massive centre, time is limited, and obviously there will be a lot of inspectors and they will need to see everything and be everywhere. So the key thing for the quality manager to do is to liaise with their teams prior, get everyone clued up as to what's going to happen at the inspection. Everyone should have a copy of the timetable, and just making sure that everyone is where they need to be and when they need to be. Of course, things can happen on the day, clinical commitments, emergencies, but trying to ensure that everyone turns up where they need to be and when they need to be for interviews. Having a support system behind the scenes as well is quite important. So if, I don't know, a consultant who is going to be interviewed is stuck somewhere, we can have a plan B and fit that person in a little bit later. Ensuring communication flows with everyone during the course. So obviously liaising with the inspectors and liaising with the hospital team just to make sure that everything runs as smoothly as possible. Show your confidence in your quality management system and in what you do as a quality manager. It's quite important. But remember that you can't be everywhere all at once. So you do need support staff and people around you to help to make sure the inspection goes as smoothly as possible.
That's great. Thank you. Evi?
It's true what you said, Rachel. As a quality manager, we must assure that everyone is at the right place at the right time. It's so important. The inspectors, they have such a tidy schedule. There is no time to have an interview longer or shorter. It can be, but longer not. So it's so important that everyone knows when they are expected that they be there. But on the other hand, the quality manager has also his or her own program. So you can't do two things at the same time. We try, but sometimes it doesn't work. So it's sometimes difficult because you get phone calls of people who are being interviewed and they think, oh, I think I said something wrong, or I'm not sure about my answer. And then you have to find a gap in your own schedule to talk to them and have a conversation with that inspector to make clear what was the question, what they answered, and if it's okay or not. So I think as a quality manager, I think we are the translator between the inspecting team and your own team at the hospital. And as I said, we are the glue who sticks everything together.
Yeah, I think that's very, very true. So we've had before, we've had during. Now, what are the key challenges for a quality manager after the inspection? Evi?
Oh, the work starts after the inspection. When you get the feedback on the last day of the inspection, actually your action plan starts then, I think. For me, it was. You listen to the comments and you are already thinking in your head, oh, okay, that I can do this, or we can make sure that they do that. So it starts on the last day of the inspection. But when you get the feedback months later from the JACIE office, the first important task is to translate it to the entire program, to the nurses, to the doctors, to your program director, to the other colleagues, and also to your hospital management. Because sometimes there are some things, I think, that you can't decide, that it should be decided within your hospital board. So you must have them with you, and they must support you. That's why sometimes I think it's important that the hospital manager is also present at the end of the closing meeting of the inspection, so that they already can hear what the improvements can be. I don't know what's your opinion about it, Rachel.
Yeah, I think everything you said is totally right. I think keeping the momentum going before, during, and after the inspection, just every day really, but particularly after the inspection, it's quite important to keep that engagement with staff, and for them not to think, oh, the inspection's done, that's my job done. Unfortunately, it's not. If you do have any findings, make a note of them at the post-inspection, and then I would suggest maybe having a meeting with the key players, including some senior managers, and saying, okay, this is the findings. Why don't we have a bit of an action plan now and see if there's any quick wins we can put together? Put some regular meetings in the diary, keeping that communication going, but also make sure that the quality manager is involved in any strategic planning, if possible, and remembering that the improvements are, they need to be sustainable long term, not just a short term fix just to satisfy the inspection. And it's also important to the quality manager, again, is the facilitator, manage any deadlines. So if you have some key tasks that need to be completed, assign them to staff with tight deadlines, and keep the program directors in the loop, the team leads, the managers. And if the quality managers aren't getting any joy, to escalate it to these relevant people just to keep things moving. But yeah, it's a long-term thing rather than a short-term thing.
It's not because your action plan is done, then starts the preparing for your next inspection. So it's an ongoing process all the time. So no, it's very important.
And also, I think it's important for the quality managers to have some protected time. Obviously, preparing for an inspection is a massive task in itself. The quality managers still need to do the day-to-day job and keep everything going. So protected time throughout and support from the various leads, program directors, and senior managers is key.
I'd also sort of think, one of the key roles after an inspection for the quality manager is the liaison with the JACIE office, in making sure that any additional evidence that is asked for is sent through as promptly, as quickly as they possibly can, in clear, readable format if updated documents are required, or additional training records, because that, from an inspector's point of view, is what they need from the quality manager to respond quickly, so that everything can go through the system as quickly as possible. It's to the advantage of the quality manager to actually get it done quickly, so that we can sort of take it forward from there. So that's brilliant. Thank you. After it's all gone through and everything is going, what do you think centres can best do to support their quality managers both during and after inspection?
Yeah, I think it's really important for centres, again, like I said before, to support the quality managers, to have that protected time, have a post-inspection team to help with the corrective actions, some time and support, strategic planning. But just remember that everyone has a responsibility. It doesn't all fall to the quality managers. Everyone has a responsibility in their own day-to-day tasks. If you're a team lead, everyone needs to know what they need to do. It doesn't just fall to one person. Plenty of coffee and chocolate is always a good addition as well to support that quality manager through these times.
Lovely. Evi?
I think before the inspection, when you are preparing, it's also after the inspection, you must get the mandates. from your management team to make some adjustments. I think that's the most important thing. When you have it, you can change things very quick and smoothly. I think during the inspection, the quality manager is very stressed during the inspection. So they also need to be reassured and to be calm down, because we must make sure that everyone is at the right place, the right time, as we spoke before, but also, when the inspectors have questions or the interviewed persons have other questions, it's all coming to one person, and that person must make sure that everything is clear during the inspection before the closing meeting started. So I think not only coffee and chocolates after when the closing meeting is done, but a glass of champagne or something like that will be
Party.
good. Yes, a little
JACIE party.
must be. Yes. But after the inspection, I think what's most important is that the quality manager must assure that every key person is at the same page. I mean, everyone is looking for the same goal. They want their certification. So everyone must have time to work on it. And we all know hospitals have it a little bit difficult at the moment. So getting the right time and enough time to make sure that you can do all the embedments that you need is
Right.
not easy.
I think you're right. I think the centres do need to realise that quality managers need some support. In very many cases, it is a single quality manager managing a whole system for clinical collection and processing, and they're split very thinly. So I think centres can give it support as they can to the quality manager to help them get through the inspection process from beginning to end, but then also the ongoing JACIE issues that do crop up from time to time. So I think that's a very relevant point, that it's the centre that is managing JACIE, not the quality manager. It's a joint role. So I think that's brilliant. So we're doing this sort of as a first one. So if you had to say one key activity that a quality manager needs to focus on across the JACIE inspection process, what do you think it would be, Evi?
Just one?
Just
It's difficult.
One key point.
And let me think. I think we must provide a culture of quality, and we must assure that everyone who is involved in the program is going for the same goal. We also must be assured that everyone is looking for improvement in the daily practice. I think it's just teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. So I think that's the most important thing.
Thank you. Rachel?
Yeah, I agree. Effective communications, engagement, being that positive person, we can do this. And I know we're all going through a tough time at work, short-staffed and competing priorities, but being that person who can kind of navigate through the inspection and all throughout the process really is the quality manager. Yeah, I would say that.
And what is your point of view, Anne?
Yes, very good question, Evi.
I've been doing it a little while. I would say the same thing is the quality manager is the spider in the middle of the web, and that they need to snare little bits from all around the web and bring them into the middle to make sure that it all becomes a unified unit. The best comment I think I ever had was when I asked someone, what do you think JACIE has done to improve things? And they looked at me as though I was slightly insane. And they went, but that's just what we do. And I thought that was perfect. They get what it is. It's not an extra. Yep. It's just what we do.
Mm-hmm. Making sure that everything is good for our patients. Creating a safe environment when they feel a little bit like home during their sickness. That's what we must ensure for them, I think.
And on that line, I think that's perfect. So I'd like to thank both of you very much for joining this first podcast. And I would like to thank everyone who has tuned in to see it. There will be a link at the end of the podcast so that you can say what you thought of it, whether it worked. And also, I think there may be an option that you can give suggestions for future podcasts. So thank you all very much for joining us today. And we hope to see you again in a few weeks' time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. See you soon.
Bye.